SOG is known for its really unique designs, and they make just excellent products. They've been around for a long time. This little Slim Jim XL is no different. And the name Slim Jim refers to this. Look how thin that blade is. That's just incredible. It's actually 5 millimeters in width. And even at the thumb studs, it only reaches out to about 11 millimeters. An exceptional, thin, great utility knife, great for EDC. But one of the things that I really like about this knife, and really what makes it also very unique, is this the thinnest assisted opening knife in the world, according to SOG. And I believe it, because it's just incredibly thin. In your pocket, you don't even know it's there. It only weighs 3.2 ounces. The small version, which is a little bit shorter than this one, it weighs 2.6 ounces. The blade is AUS-8, which is typical for SOG. It's been cryogenically treated, and it has a tynide coating on it. So even though this is stainless steel, it has a really good abrasive and corrosion resistant coating. This knife, I've been carrying this for about a month, and I've been using the hound out of it. And it's just so lightweight, it's really hard to keep out of my pocket. And one of the things about the body itself, it's also stainless steel. It's one folded piece. You can see how it just folds over. It's 420 stainless steel. It has the SOG logo cut out right here. And even for its thinness, it really is a fairly stable knife. Now you've got a long, thin blade, so your blade's going to give a little bit of movement. But right here in the lockup, it's actually pretty good. I mean, it's pretty solid. The jimping on the blade is exceptional. And then right here, you have areas of jimping coming up this way, so you really get a very good firm hold on this knife. With the tip, it's excellent for detail work as well. It is the lockback design, and you press and you can bring the blade down. One of the reasons why it is the lockback design is because really you're not going to have anywhere to put any kind of liner lock or any kind of pivot lock. This is really about the only way you're going to be able to have a good secure lock. A lot of people are concerned, though, when using this knife, is that possibly when gripping it, that you're going to actuate this lock. And really, as much as I've been using it, I've never closed it on my hand. Now, I have heard reports where people have, but the way I grip the knife, unless I'm gripping way back here, you're not really going to inadvertently hit this knife. One of the things you can do, though, is with this little slide safety, is just to push it into place, and it's going to lock it down, and it's not going to come loose. Pop it open, you can close it. You can see that the lock pops up and locks into the blade right here and then pulls down. It does have pretty good force when coming out. One of the things I have found with the slide safety is once in a while it will catch, and you've got to actually get a little bit of force behind it to push it. But it will lock it. And if you do that, well, you're locking your blade down. And that's one of the reasons why this would be more suited for EDC or as a utility knife. I've been cutting some boxes and cutting out tape, and I'll tell you what, it just works almost as smooth as a razor. It's just super sharp. And you can see here it shaves very nicely. And I've really been using this knife. It has a Rockwell hardness of 56 to 58. The thumb studs are very ample. Again, they come out to about 11 millimeters. Now, one of the things you're going to have to watch, and I would suggest that you put some Loctite on it, is these little thumb studs do start to loosen. And so just keep check of that. And again, I'd put a little bit of Loctite on there to hold that into place. You do have these raised portions right here. You have 4 raised areas, and it gives you a little bit of gripping surface, especially right when you get ready to actuate the thumb stud. It just naturally glides right there. Now, one of the problems that I had when I first got the knife was when I hit the thumb stud, sometimes it wouldn't come all the way out. In fact, I was at the NRA show in Indianapolis this past year, and one of my viewers came up and started talking to me and asked me what I was carrying. And I said, hey, I've got this Slim Jim, it's really cool. And when I went to deploy it, it halfway stopped. It kind of stopped about right here. And I had had a little bit of trouble with that. And once I lubed this knife, though, I quit having any issues with it stopping part way. and I think it was just a break-in period. So one of the things I would suggest is to make sure you add just a touch of lube if you're going to carry this. But man, it just pops out really easy. You can get right to work with it. Now SOG excels in making really great pocket clips, and it's a very deep pocket. You can see that it barely rides right over the body of the knife, and it's skeletonized, so it's really thin. Of course, that drops the weight down even more. It does have a very slight bend, which it's not too obtrusive. I love the deep pocket clip. I mean, this thing carries so deep into the pocket, and with that thin design, you can't even tell there's anything in here. And it comes out really smooth, and of course it deploys really quick. And you're also able to switch this from one side to the other, but it will be tip up only. You have your lanyard loop right here. Looks very brassy. I'm sure that's just a brass ring. I wouldn't really recommend this for heavy use, but it's an excellent EDC, gentleman's knife, utility knife. Also, if you want to do food prep, it would be excellent for that. I was actually using it somewhat in the garden the other day and really putting it through its paces, and really for doing a lot more than I would typically do if this just happened to be in my pocket. But it held up really well. Okay, the MSRP on this is $90, but I saw it in a lot of areas for around the $45 range. And for $45, I think that's an excellent buy for this knife. The Slim Jim is definitely not going to suit every need, but for EDC, for a good utility knife, it's so thin and yet it's so long. I really like this little knife. Did I say little? Maybe big knife. I really like the extra large, but if you want something a little smaller and actually a little more lightweight, then the regular standard Slim Jim is going to be an excellent choice. And really, if this Slim Jim doesn't do it for you, then I'm sure this one will. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Rises above the end of the blade. So this Slim Jim rides so easy in your pocket that you have Slim Jims at any time.